So I've changed quite a lot recently, mostly due to some new videos and also over the years my own videos and progress not having much success. I just found like a blister. Yeah, that's weird. I've never had that before on my thumb. I wanted to say thank you to Bamboo Archery. I don't know the guy's name exactly. I added him on Facebook, but I'm sure it may have a different name. Sorry about that in advance. But I want to say thank you anyway, because my journey has always been like, I have asked for help online beforehand, and it has helped me to some degree, but nothing's really as helpful as actually having someone in person help you. So it's kind of been a little bit personal. I have read books as well, and what I previously know is, obviously this being a target club and I'm always shooting target, is I come from that background, so I have that understanding and knowledge, but that's kind of where it stops. And that's obviously what a coach as well. So that's a completely different story from one end of it. Injure yourself, and obviously the main part I'm talking about is like keeping like proper like alignment through the hand. He was talking about how people write on their thumb, so when they're shooting their bow, obviously they've got their bow in hand and they're writing on their thumb more. So I completely understand that, because I do that. He's saying more alignment as in like keeping it more centered. So I used to be like out here, so it's hard to represent this on camera. So my thumb in relation to the bow is kind of out here, and now I've moved it in more, if that makes sense. So I've got a proper alignment through my arm, so this is coming up properly aligned. So it used to be kind of like that, kind of like if you see the fist, the line of the knuckles used to be following directly straight back down the line. Now it's slightly more inward, so you can't really see the rest of my forearm. But that obviously keeps it a lot more stable, that I've noticed when shooting. And obviously if I was shooting my recurve, I would have the exact same grip, but just on a 45-degree angle, and obviously relaxed as well. See, I get that grip. Now I could obviously shoot this bow like this as well, but it's the only difference is I'm changing it, I'm inverting the grip. So the biggest thing obviously when you're starting out is just say if you're really starting out, you'll have this elbow up and you tend to hit it. So that's really common. So, but in my case, I had my elbow down, and what I did was I actually was too much into the bow. So if you try and look down my forearm, you can barely see it. So I used to do that, because that's how I thought like I could manipulate the bow better or whatnot. I'm not completely sure, it's been a couple years or so, but that's exactly what I thought. And in his video he comes up with, like, obviously he was talking about just putting your hand more in and getting comfortable to the position, and then also gripping. So obviously with the last 3 fingers and stuff, and then also the palm actually having like a deeper seat in the palm. So he was talking about like the root of the palm and all that sort of stuff, but just any sort of deeper seat will obviously push out the bow. So if you had like a lower grip or a medium, or I can't imagine a high grip would be too well. I've done that before and I couldn't tell you. Maybe I'm not sure. So just a clarification, when I say I'm writing on my thumb, like the pressure point's just going straight into my thumb. So there's a little bit going into my palm, but a lot into my thumb, and it's really hard to obviously pull down with the last 3 fingers when you're writing on your thumb, because the bow just wants to go all the way down, if that makes sense. And it's you can feel it throughout the shoulders, the bicep, and then a lot in the forearm. I'm assuming because it's like all the tendons down here. I just feel the pressure in my bow hand. It's like when I'm learning online from other people, especially in conversation, they never bring this up, so it's just like, it's nice to have like the clarification. Some days it's a lot more harder, because there's a lot of like pressure built up in the hand. It doesn't feel like horribly strenuous like when I was writing on my thumb, but it's another thing I consciously got to think about, or you have to consciously be thinking about. And obviously you can get around it by just having you could have the same alignment, almost the same alignment from the hand position that I'm having right now, like into the bow, but just a little bit more loose. So then obviously I'm not like gripping the bow so it won't like move or anything. So if I just have this position that I shoot, I just let it like move up a little bit. It's similar to if I was just holding the bow with just the top couple of fingers and relaxing the last two. So that's like obviously the alternative way I have been shooting, but then it will obviously fly to the right, or if I got like lightly spined arrows, so they just wiggle. So I have quickly tested that beforehand, and that's exactly what I thought would happen. So when I was shooting my light arrows, it would just easily just wiggle around into the target, like the paradox, which is nice to know if I want to shoot different ways. But like I'm trying to practice right now, I just want to be able to actually grip the bow, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, I always imagined it would be harder, and I've logged a little bit of my journey already. You can see different stuff in the video, but like obviously I've had my phone camera, it's not the best quality ever. So I just wanted to say thank you anyway, and I'm just going to show you a couple of clips of me shooting. So I've just shot like one end, two ends actually, and mostly like blank, because I can tell when the arrow is like a blank, but if it goes straight, that's like supreme, absolute rip on the bow. Obviously it looks like something to do with the release as well, like if maybe you would want a crisper release or
game had it all.
Yeah.
What did you think of your team's ability to withstand Florida State's impressive comeback?
Yeah, you know, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after.